Sometimes I just make myself laugh because I almost didn't do this video. I was like, I don't really have any favorites this month. Then I went around and I went in my makeup bag and like usual around my house and I was like, oh, I've been loving this and loving this and loving this. So I think these are just gonna be a monthly thing because I realized that I always have favorites, and one of the perks of sort of doing this is that I get scent products, so I'm constantly trying new things and things constantly keep popping up in my collection that I'm like, oh, I love this, I love this. And these videos are just a good way to sort of share everything that I'm loving this month. There are a couple things that are like oldies but goodies, so they're not new things, but I just got them this month and I've really been loving them. I'm gonna start out with the more conventional favorites, and sorry if you can hear any like screeching. They're doing a roof across the street from me and it has been a lot of banging and a lot of loud noises, so I keep trying to beat it by starting these videos so early and then it just starts anyway. So I can't avoid it, but hopefully I'll be able to edit out the sound, so apologies in advance, but hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Two makeup favorites this month. So the first is the Vapor Organic Beauty Velvet Gloss in Nomad. I got this a while ago. I received it from them when I got the new foundation shades that came out, so 117 instead of 115, and they sent this along with it, and this sort of like lived in the back of my collection for a while, and then this month I've just been pulling it out and it's actually been in my purse most days. Ooh, almost dropped it. And it's this really interesting texture where it's somewhere between a lip gloss and a lip balm. So it's not sticky like a gloss, but you get a shine to it and it's very conditioning like a balm, also very natural like a balm. I'm gonna put some on right now over top of the lipstick that I'm wearing, and you guys will be able to see just on my bottom lip that it's like the perfect amount of gloss and pigment for either wearing over a lipstick like this or just on an everyday basis. It also smells really good. I don't know if everyone's gonna love this smell, but I personally really like it. I've been using it a ton and haven't even made a dent in it. I know this is gonna last me a really long time, which I think is awesome. I'm honestly not positive how much this retails for. I always link everything down below, so go and check it out, but I really, really like this, and I'm gonna check out to see what other colors they have because this is a great everyday lip product that I know I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna continue using. See, what's dangerous about filming videos now is that my camera is sort of maybe broken and it doesn't show me how long I'm recording for, whereas usually in the like little thingy it'll tell me how long I've been going, so I can talk on and on and on and on, and like an hour later I'm like, oh gosh, I wonder if I've been talking too long about a product. But the next favorite is actually a suggestion from the absolutely gorgeous Alyssa. She is the one who I did a collaboration with. If you guys haven't seen that video, I will like put it up here so you can go check it out. But she gave me such amazing suggestions of products to try, and one of them was this blush. This is the Lily Lolo Mineral Blush in Ooh La La, and I've just been obsessed with this. I've been wearing it pretty much every day when I wear makeup, and I just feel like it's so perfect. I've always, like I said in that video, I've been hesitant towards powder blushes because sometimes I think that they sort of like settle into fine lines and they don't give you that luminosity of a cream blush, but this does. For whatever reason, it like melts as soon as it hits your skin and you get this beautiful burst of color while also sort of mattifying what you have going on. And maybe it's because it's summer, so my skin is already very luminous from the sweat and, you know, oils that are coming through, but whatever's going on with this blush, I'm down for. I really like it. I'm really excited to try more of them, but I think this color is great for an everyday look. It's not too pink. You don't look like a doll. It's sort of almost like a warm desert rose color with a little bit more pink in it, and it's just absolutely gorgeous and wears super well throughout the day. So thank you so much to Alyssa. I've been loving this and I cannot wait to try more. The next favorites are sort of skincare-ish. One of them I'm not going to go into detail because you guys can watch a whole video on it, but it is the Plume Lash and Brow Serum. I am so excited I can finally be talking to you about this because I have been obsessed with it for so long. If you guys haven't seen, I'm actually giving one of these away. It's incredible. You can go see my before and after pictures. You can go see the video that shows me without any mascara on and how crazy long my eyelashes are. But yeah, I'm just absolutely loving this. I know I'm going to continue using it, and I think this was an insane find for the month of June. So Thank you to Aaliyah and Plume for sending me this. I am so over the moon with the product, and make sure you guys enter the giveaway. Go check out that video. It'll be linked down below so that you can enter to win your own. So along the lines of that lash serum, this is actually sort of a funny favorite because I don't love it because it's like life-changing or an amazing product, but I've been loving the experience. And along with the serum, Plume also sent me like a couple other products, and one of them was their eyelash curlers. And to be honest, I don't think it's the most amazing eyelash curler. Like, I probably wouldn't have bought this myself just because like there's some weird quirks to it, like maybe it's just put on wrong or something, but like the actual curling part is like slightly lopsided, so sometimes it crimps my lashes. But what's my favorite is actually the process of curling my lashes. It's always been something that like reminds me of old Hollywood glamour and just like very professional makeup artists and stuff. And I've always been like, they look like medieval torture devices. Why would I do that to myself? But it looks so glamorous as well. And I've sort of went back and forth with trying to use this, like, what if I pull out all of my eyelashes? What if, like, you know, something bad happens? But I started using it and I actually really like it, and especially because I haven't been wearing mascara probably pretty much this whole past month unless I'm filming or something like that. This is nice because it does lift my lashes and gives me that sort of like curled effect, since my lashes do tend to grow sort of straight. They have a slight curve, but they're pretty straight. So this definitely helps with that, and it's also just like a fun step to my morning routine. Again, like when I'm looking in the mirror and doing it, I have those like flashbacks of old Hollywood glamour, and I feel like I'm sort of a part of that culture. So it's just like a sort of funny favorite. It's not because this particular eyelash curler is insane, but it's just a fun new step that I've added to my routine that I'm really enjoying. My final skincare favorite is a tiny little thing that packs a real punch. For whatever reason, the month of June has been horrible for my skin. Like, I've been broken out pretty much the entire month of June, and I mean, I think I know what the culprit is, which is far too much sugar and too much dairy, because that tends to sort of break me out. But it's just, there's been so much yummy food this month and I haven't been able to control myself. But basically I've been getting, unfortunately, like these big, really painful, they're not even like pimples, they're probably like cysts because they never have a head, on my neck and under my chin, which is definitely hormonal and can be sort of like affected in terms of like dairy or soy intake for me. And so I can't do anything about them. Sometimes I pick them, which isn't good, and that definitely leads to scarring and stuff. But really, when you get those like hard sort of blemishes, you can't do anything about them. And so I was like searching for some sort of spot corrector, and I found this Osmia spot corrector in my collection. This is actually something that I got at the Beauty Heroes event I went to a while ago, and I was like, okay, well, I'll try this out. It's really interesting. It's an oil, and it has like a little rolly ball that you put on, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But the oil itself, I think, is really helping. It's not something where I put it on and I'm like, whoa, it's all gone instantly. Definitely with continual use, I noticed that it really helps take down the redness, and especially on those like hard sort of cystic bumps that like you can't do anything about. This has been a game changer for me. And you can apply it like 3 to 4 times a day, but I really just do a heavy dose at night and then sort of tap it in to make sure it's all absorbed. And really, I do notice that by the morning I wake up and the redness has sort of subsided, and yes, it's still sort of there, but it's a lot easier to cover up and it's not as inflamed as it was the night before. So I've been using this all month, and you guys can see I really have a ton of it left, so I'm pretty impressed. The only thing that's a bummer about the rolly ball is that if you are putting it on spots like, say, you know, like I had one like under my chin. So because it's a rolly ball, like you need to have the oil facing the ball for it to really come out. And if you're putting it under your chin, it's hard to get it to come out, if that makes sense. Like all the product sort of sinks to the bottom. So I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the application just because I have hard to reach blemishes. This may just be a personal problem, but certainly it works if you're putting it like on your face like that, which I think is probably the main intention. So I get why they made it this way, but it is a little bit funny if your blemishes are in like harder to reach areas. Otherwise though, I totally love this, and I'm definitely going to repurchase it because I think it's good to just have with you. Like if you ever have like an event or something you're worried about like something turning into a blemish, then I would just roll a little bit of this oil on, and I feel like that would help calm it down. It also is an oil, so it doesn't have any harsh drying properties to it, which I think is really great because growing up, spot correctors for me always meant drying. So literally what would happen is I would put a spot corrector on a blemish, and then the next day I'd wake up and that whole area would be peeling and gross. And I feel like honestly that probably did more damage than good to my skin. So I'm happy that it's something that's nourishing my skin as well as taking down that inflammation. And I've never seen a product that's an oil-based blemish fighter. It almost seems like counterintuitive, but I'm really happy that I discovered this product and I know I'll continue using it. Okay, so the next things are sort of away from the beauty and skincare world. It's one fashion item which you guys already know about. You've seen it in a video, but it's these Levi wedgie fit jeans. They're so comfortable and I have been living in them all month. They're probably like my favorite item of clothing that I have. They just, for whatever reason, fit me really well and are really comfortable, and I really, really like the style. You guys know the feeling when you find a good pair of jeans that actually fits and feels good and works with you, and it's like life-changing. I'm honestly thinking about ordering another pair because I've had this happen to me before where I find the perfect pair of jeans and then I just wear them until literally they are falling apart, and then I can't find them anymore because it's like 10 years later and I'm so upset. So I'm really happy I found these. I'll probably order another pair. I do think that the wash dictates the size because I had these in a darker wash last year and they were way stiffer and I did not fit into them this year even though they're the same size as these. So I do think it's something that you need to try on, but they're really cute and they make my butt look good, so I'm happy about it. That's fashion. And then sort of lifestyle favorites, I have some books that I want to share with you guys, which I haven't read all of them yet, but I want to share what's on my bedside table. Then I also have this favorite, which is sort of the oldie but a goodie that I was talking about. I was listening to like podcasts the other week, which by the way, if you haven't checked out The Natural Know-It-All on iTunes or on SoundCloud, definitely do. That is my new podcast that's coming out every Sunday, which I'm so excited about. Make sure that you guys email thenaturalknowitall@gmail.com. Again, all this information is in the description box with any suggestions or what you want to talk about or anything like that. Okay, side note, was listening to another podcast that was all about sort of spices and how they're so good for you. And one thing that they mentioned was how drinking ginger tea before you eat at night or whenever really helps your metabolism like get kick-started. It helps everything digest a little bit better. And so I wanted to start doing that and I wasn't quite sure how to integrate that into my life. And I didn't actually have a teapot. Usually what I use to heat up water is our Keurig. We don't use it for pods anymore. We did like a while ago when we first got it, and then we found out that those aren't recyclable and they're just ending up in landfills and totally scrapped it. But now we have this piece of machinery that we don't want to waste. So we use it to heat up water, but I also have like a tea kettle. Speaking of tea, I'm gonna take a sip of tea. I think as I get older, I find sort of like rituals more and more appealing, and I have this like romantic vision of when Jared and I are both home from work, coming home. There's that time where we both need to do stuff before we sit down and talk to each other about our day and what's going on, because if you're working all day, then there's still things that you need to do at home as soon as you get home. And sometimes immediately it's hard to sort of debrief about your day. And so I thought what would be really nice is integrating that sort of tea ceremony, I'm gonna call it, into my pre-dinner like discussions with Jared about our day. So I thought it would be fun to get a teapot and little teacups, and after we sort of finish everything that we have going on for the day, I could brew some tea, some ginger tea, and we can have that before sitting down to eat, and that'll just be a time for us to sort of reflect and relax and get into the mode of being home. And so we haven't done it quite yet, so that's why I'm saying this is a romantic vision, but I do have the teapot now, which is the most important part. And the teapot is actually pretty special. It's something that I was over at my parents' house and I was looking at they have like a cabinet where they keep sort of like nice glasses and things that they don't use all the time. And one of them was filled with teapots. And so I was looking around and I was like, oh, this is such a cute teapot. And it's sort of this like blue little personal teapot, and it comes with these tiny little cups. And I do feel like the pattern is sort of Asian inspired, which is really beautiful and I really, really love. And so I asked my mom, I said, oh, like what is this? What's the story with this? And she said, oh, well, you can have it. I know that you're wanting a teapot. And she told me that the story with it is that my dad actually got the whole tea set for her when they were in college as a birthday present, which I thought was so sweet. Like what a nice birthday present and what good juju around this teapot. So now I have the beautiful teapot. I'm very excited to be brewing tea in it. And I have these adorable little cups which are so cute, and I just feel like the ceremony is now complete and I can actually start doing it. So I'll let you guys know how it goes and if I actually follow through, but I do have this idea in my head and I really hope that I can sort of pull it off every night. Okay, the final part of this video is sharing what's on my bedside table. A couple of these books I've started reading and probably won't finish because I don't really like them. And then a couple I got as presents, so I'm excited, but I thought I would just share them with you in case you guys are looking for a book. Maybe we'll end up reading the same book, or this might just inspire you to try a book. Like I said, I have been wanting to read in my Lost Favorites video, and somehow, like, you say something to the universe and the universe answers, and the universe answered in a big way. There's been a stack of books on the side of my bed. I think I have, what, 5 here, and there might be 1 or 2 more. And yeah, they just all came to me at once, and so it's been sort of overwhelming trying to decide where to start. But the first book that I got, which I don't think I'm gonna finish, it just like isn't really gripping, I guess I would say, and that's The Magnolia Story by Chip and Joanna Gaines. I think I'll come back to it. I mean, I really love Fixer Upper, and that's why I got this book. I think their story is incredible, and of course Joanna's aesthetic is incredible. I could just go on and on and on. But yeah, it just wasn't really for me. I feel like I kept like picking it up and putting it down and picking it up and putting it down, and it's a really fast read, so I think if I really was into it, I would just like blow through it, and I wasn't really, so I don't know if I would highly suggest that or not. I don't know. So then I got 2 books from Amazon myself. The first one is The Medical Medium Thyroid Healing, The Truth Behind Hashimoto's, Graves, Insomnia, Hyperthyroidism, Thyroid Nodules, and Epstein-Barr. I don't even know what that is, so I'm excited to read this. You guys know I have Hashimoto's. Thyroid issues run in my family, unfortunately. So this is sort of like my new health journey as I'm trying to figure out that part of my life. So that I'm excited to start. Next one I've already started because I thought this would be like the best book to start and like really kickstart my interest in reading again, because it's sort of a taboo topic and I think it's like an interesting topic, and it's also sort of like a funny read. So this is The Sex Issue, Everything You've Always Wanted to Know About Sexuality, Seduction, and Desire by Goop. And so Goop is Gwyneth Paltrow's brand. I have their other book, and I was curious to sort of see their take on things. This is an interesting format of a book. It's a lot about like sort of questions and answers by experts. There's a lot of stuff about like anatomy and myths and falsehoods that we're taught, and I thought it was interesting. It's not as interesting as I thought it would be. Definitely if you're interested in like human sexuality, hormones, and like feminist issues surrounding human sexuality, then I think you would be into this book, and maybe it's worth reading. But there are a couple other books that I would recommend before this, so if you want to know those, let me know. And then the 2 other books which have been sitting on my bedside table were both recommendations from people and sort of like loaners slash a present. And the first one is Real Artists Don't Starve. Thank you, Mom. She got me this book, which I think it's sort of the running joke in my family that I'm like the starving artist, because I'm working like a trillion different weird jobs and then doing this YouTube stuff and podcasts and graphic design and whatever to survive. So real artists don't starve. So hopefully I won't starve. And then the last one, which I'm really excited about, and this is the novel Little Fires Everywhere. My boyfriend actually listened to the audiobook of this and he said it was really good, and then this was a recommendation from someone and I'm loaning it from them as well. So those are all the books that I've been reading. I will link them down below in case you guys are interested in any of them. I'm always looking for book suggestions, so definitely let me know if you guys have been reading anything good. June has been a very interesting month. There's been sort of a mixture of very high highs and low lows. It was my birthday month, so that's always exciting. In fact, Jared and I went to Austin for my birthday, and I'm probably in Austin as you're watching this. So make sure to let me know if there are any last minute suggestions of what I should try in Austin. But overall, it was, I think, an inspiring month in good and bad ways. It was definitely a month for a lot of reflection and, you know, thinking about what's important in life and doing things that you love and just being happy. So I hope that all of you find your happiness, and I hope that this video adds to your happiness just by a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to know if there's anything that you have been loving in the month of June. Make sure to subscribe for 2 videos a week. I post every Tuesday and Friday, and then a podcast on Sunday, The Natural Know-It-All. So definitely make sure to go check that out. That's sort of my final favorite of this month. I'm really excited about it, and I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's just the very beginning, but I really like podcasts and I really like doing it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Definitely check out the link below, and I will see you all next time. Bye.